Welcome everyone to another edition of Wrestling News with a Dude. So today, let's talk about GTS Wrestling. So I've got plenty of news after I talk about GTS Wrestling. So we will have another tournament. Well, actually it's going to be different. So it's going to be for those GTS stars who did not participate in the YouTube Championship tournament. So instead, they get a secondary opportunity to become the #1 contender to the tournament winner. So basically, whoever wins this whole tournament will face the winner of the YouTube Championship tournament. So the first match, we have Kirby versus Gay Mysterio versus Shamar. Next match, Jay Evans versus Big Icon Magic versus Joe Dice. Next match, Jake Reaper versus Mike Swanson versus Lucha La Raza. Next match, Hitman Jones versus Anthony Emerald Jr. versus Tony Emerald. Whoa, this is gonna be interesting. If you have seen today's episode of GTS Wrestling, Kirby and Jay Evans are moving on to the semifinals as these two will face each other soon. I actually thought that today was going to be Doo-Hop versus Jimmy, but it's going to happen in the next couple of days instead. Moving on to the next subject, let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously, it's going to be about the G1 Climax 29. So, let's see the results for this week's of G1 Climax 29. On the 10th night of the G1 Climax 29, Hiroki Goto gets a 2-point after he defeated Toru Yano with a Goto-style roll-up in a 6-star match. No, it's not. The match only happened in 1:42 seconds. Jeez. In the next match, Juice Robinson loses to Tomohiro Ishii after Tomohiro hits him with a vertical drop brainbuster. Next, Jeff Cobb gets his revenge on Taichi when he defeated him with a tour of the islands. Shingo Takagi loses to the Switchblade Jay White, and next match, which was the main event, Jon Moxley still undefeated after he hits Tetsuya Naito with the Death Rider. And on the 11th night of the G1 Climax, Kota Ibushi successfully defeated Bad Luck Fale with a Kamagoi, and unfortunately, Bad Luck Fale is nowhere to go to the finals. Wow, this is probably an interesting match. So, Will Ospreay face Zack Sabre Jr., and this is the first time these two face each other in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. gets a 2-point. And the next match, Kazuchika Okada still undefeated when he defeated Lance Archer with a Rainmaker. Next match, Kenta loses to Sanada, shockingly. And then in the main event, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ace, defeated Evil after he hits with a high fly flow. And on the 12th night of the G1 Climax, Jeff Cobb wins over Shingo Takagi with a tour of the islands. Next match, wow, this is shocking for mostly all of us. Jon Moxley lost to Toru Yano by a countout, and Jon Moxley is no longer undefeated in the G1. I find it really hilarious because people thought Toru Yano is a jobber. No, he's not. He's a spoiler, and he loves to spoil the outcome of the match. So yeah, first Toru Yano beats Tetsuya Naito, and then Switchblade Jay White, and now Jon Moxley. Tetsuya Naito beat Juice Robinson after he hits him with the Destino. Wow, this is very interesting. So these two have the same chemistry though. These two are also very charismatic. So yeah, and then the next match, wow, this is also an interesting match. A heel versus heel or a villain versus villain. So Taichi loses to Jay White. And then in the main event, Chaos Member versus Chaos Member. Hiroki Goto defeated Tomohiro Ishii with the GTR. And then on the next night of the G1 Climax, Bad Luck Fale wins over Kenta with a roll-up. And then another match, Zack Sabre Jr. won with a roll-up. And the next match, Well, everything is evil, because Evil defeated Will Ospreay and gets a 2-point. And in the next match, well, a G1 Climax 28 rematch. Kota Ibushi gets his redemption when he gets a 2-point by defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi. And in the main event, wow, what a night for Sanada. He finally beats Kazuchika Okada, and he'll most likely going to get the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match in the near future. So, yeah, congrats to Sanada. I heard the news that WWE is actually interested in signing a top NJPW star, Sanada, because he's a free agent. Like, what? He's a free agent? Oh no, please no. I hope Sanada doesn't go to the WWE, because he's fine with New Japan, because you know, he's a better fit member for Los Ingobernables de Japón. So there's no way we will see him in WWE. So please, no, just no. And tomorrow from the B block, we will see Tomohiro Ishii taking on his fellow Chaos member, the King of Producer, Toru Yano. The flamboyant Juice Robinson will take on Taichi. I hope Taichi loses. Hiroki Goto will go one-on-one with Jeff Cobb once again. The Death Rider, Jon Moxley, will go toe-to-toe with Switchblade Jay White for the first time ever. As much as I would love to see Jon Moxley win over the Switchblade, unfortunately, I would rather see Switchblade win over Jon Moxley so he can make it to the finals. And your main event, the Intercontinental Champion Tetsuya Naito will take on his fellow member of Los Ingobernables de Japón, the Dragon, Shingo Takagi. And here's the update score for the G1 Climax as of today. From the A block, Kazuchika Okada 12 points, Kota Ibushi 10 points, Evil 8 points, and these are the following wrestlers who will not make it to the finals. Hiroshi Tanahashi 8 points, Kenta 8 points, Sanada 6 points, Zack Sabre Jr. 6 points, Lance Archer, Will Ospreay, and Bad Luck Fale all have 4 points. From the B block, Jon Moxley 10 points, Tomohiro Ishii 6 points, Juice Robinson 6 points, Toru Yano 6 points, Tetsuya Naito 6 points, Hiroki Goto 6 points, Jay White 6 points, Jeff Cobb 6 points, and these are the two wrestlers who will not make it to the finals. Shingo Takagi and Taichi, both of them have 4 points. So that's all I have for the current standing of the G1 Climax 29 as of today. Switching gears to WWE news, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is quietly retired from pro wrestling. He has hung up his wrestling boots for good. I gotta be honest, I think he should have retired if he would ever had one last match with his cousin Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. From what I heard like several months ago, Roman was supposed to face The Rock at WrestleMania 35, but unfortunately the leukemia is what caused the match to be scrapped. And plus, The Rock was too busy to show up at WrestleMania because of his Hollywood movie commitment. Ever since The Rock came back to the WWE, I think it was in 2011, he only wrestled like 5 matches. I wouldn't count his match with Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32 as his 6th match since returning, because the match itself only lasted 6 seconds coincidentally. I remember when he had a tag team match with his partner John Cena when he taked on, R-Truth and The Miz at Survivor Series. He also had a WrestleMania match with John Cena, which was once in a lifetime. Wait a minute, twice in a lifetime. Huh, that's weird. I didn't even remember that. Oh, and not to mention that 2012 marks the beginning of having part-timers getting their main event spotlight at WrestleMania. And you could name every part-timers who have main event at WrestleMania. Oh, and The Rock won the WWE Championship, and he actually beat CM Punk twice. So yeah, he had 5 matches ever since he returned to WWE, but I guess we won't see The Rock come back to the ring anytime soon. Hopefully it doesn't happen at Saudi Arabia, because look what happened back in June. So what's next for The Rock? Well, he'll probably appear on SmackDown when the show moves to Fox Sports, Plus, he's gonna make money for Hollywood movies, and I'm not so sure if he's actually gonna go run as a US president in 2020. So that's all I got for today's video of Wrestling News with a Dude. So with that being said, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe for more content. Tap that little bell so you don't want to miss an upload. And as always, peace and good day.